有一个地方，如梦似幻，如履似烟，拥有着世界上最精巧的技术，把时间封印于手腕之间。有一个地方，雪山巍峨，湖水清澈，坐拥着最自然和田园的风光，童话里的梦在眼前展现。瑞士就是这样一个把生活化作诗，将诗里生出梦的地方。Hello， 大家好，我是未必出类拔萃但一定与众不同的婉丽君，欢迎来到我的频道婉丽说。熟悉婉丽的朋友都知道，在婉丽的所有行业抬头中，瑞士葡萄酒大使一直是最资深也是最浓墨重彩的那一个。毕竟婉丽曾跳入人间秘境，踏遍瑞士上下，走遍6大葡萄酒产区，风光如画，步步风景。爬过高山，踏过雪地，坐在葡萄梯田上发呆，在湖边与天鹅与水鸭嬉戏，更痛饮各处美酒，醉在明信片一般的少年梦里。这不，时隔几年，在2023的末端，作为瑞士葡萄酒大使的我，又一次遇见瑞士。
欢迎您来瑞士大使馆。
在北京初雪后弥足珍贵的景致里，携手瑞士驻华大使白瑞怡，共赴一场最浪漫的梦，以瑞士葡萄酒之名。2023年末，应瑞士驻华大使白瑞怡阁下邀请，瑞士中心代表瑞士葡萄酒促进会在瑞士驻华大使官邸共同举办了2场品酒会。瑞士中心代表瑞士葡萄酒促进会邀请了3家瑞士葡萄酒进口商和在华代表，瑞士 wisp 欧意瑞、瑞士客家和瑞士轩乐酒业集团参加了这2场品酒会，并展示了瑞士葡萄栽培的多样性，呈现了瑞士各产区的葡萄酒展台，让各位嘉宾不仅有机会了解瑞士葡萄酒知识，还能品尝到来自瑞士各地的葡萄酒。瑞士不仅是湖光山色让人垂涎不已，这里的葡萄酒更是美妙而神奇。在婉丽与大使的采访过程中，大使更是强调，瑞士葡萄酒不仅代表着瑞士的品质，还承载着许多鲜为人知的传奇故事。
Switzerland is a wine country, but it's also a mountain country. It has actually 1,500 lakes, and most wines grow along the lakes in this Swiss mountain country. And I think this is very special because you have this mountain landscape combined with lakes, and on the shores of the lakes and in the mountain valleys grow the grapes that make the wine. We have about 5,000 wineries in Switzerland, and all these wines, many of them are biological wines, are very natural in a high quality, and they come from, I say it again, not from the plains, not from the Mediterranean. They come out of the fresh mountain air, and they grow from the pristine water of the glaciers. Well, Switzerland has a very long wine tradition because the wine tradition came to Switzerland by the Romans, which occupied our country 2,000 years ago. And the Romans have established these first wineries in Switzerland, and now we have little wine towns all over the country. And all these wine towns have developed their winemaking today, and each of these little towns has their very special wine celebration. And the most famous one is the Fête de Vigneron, which takes place in Vevey and about every 20 to 25 years. It's one of the biggest wine fiestas in Europe. Thousands of people meet. It's a huge procession, several hundred years old, everything around wine. And then they come to the arena where there is a huge show, and after the party goes on with wine tasting, discussions about wine, and everything which makes the wine culture. But you can also go to the small towns, and also the small towns have their little wine fiestas, and the small fête de vigneron. And there you can just park your car, or you go by train, even better. You go into the little town, you get the glass, you pay a fee for that, and you go through the narrow old town, and each winemaker will let you try his wine. You can discuss his wine with it. You can order some of the wine, of course, and you have a really unique experience of Switzerland and of Swiss wine. Wine is something very noble, and it does truly represent the country. So in the Swiss residence, we only serve Swiss wine. At all official occasions, we do serve Swiss wine, and we think that this drinking Swiss wine is also exploring or experiencing the beautiful Swiss mountain air, the pristine water from the glaciers that made this wine grow, and the Swiss culture of winemaking. So, at the Swiss residence, we have wine storage with wines from Switzerland, and we have about 40 different types of Swiss wine so that we can match every meal. The three that I'm talking about now are maybe not the most famous ones, but they somehow relate to me as a person. And the first one I want to show you is this wine. This is a wine from Bern. It's the official wine of the city of Bern, and you may know that this is actually my town. It's grown on the lake near Bern, and each time I drink this wine, or even when I look at the bottle, I am thinking of my home and these beautiful experiences that I had on this wine.
White variety in Switzerland.
It's a very known variety. The second one is a wine from Ticino, the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland. And this wine is a Merlot, and it was made by a Ticinese winemaker for the Minister of Foreign Affairs when he became a minister. So it's called Ignazio, like our minister is called, and this is his portrait. And the wine bottle is particularly dear to me because it was given to me by the minister when I was appointed Director General in his department. Yes. And the last one is not a Swiss wine, it's actually an Austrian wine, but it is a wine which was produced in a winery which belongs to the Prince of Liechtenstein. And you may know that Liechtenstein does not have an embassy here, so if the prince comes, I would be taking care of him, and I would like to surprise him with a bottle of his own wine if he ever comes to China.
Yes, that's so cool.
Try Swiss wine. There's not so much Swiss wine on the market because Swiss wine is good, and we drink a lot of our wine in Switzerland by ourselves. But what comes on the market is really high quality. It's very often biological wine, and it is a wine which represents a country which does things with lots of love, lots of care for quality, and the wine has grown on the most beautiful lakes of the planet with the best water you can imagine in a wonderful, pristine mountain air. So it's a very nice wine. It comes from the lake of Neuchâtel. It's a beautiful lake and gets lots of sun. So I think it's a very enjoyable wine.
本次三湖产区的代表是瑞士克家，旗下涵盖了 Neuchâtel 3大百年葡萄酒酒庄，并屡次荣获了世界各地的多项殊荣。酒庄涵盖了瑞士各个葡萄酒品种和风味，无论钟情于红、白还是起泡酒 ，Neuchâtel 产区皆能满足挑剔的味蕾。
So in Switzerland, many wines are organic, so that means they are produced after very strong standards. And this is a wine which has this standard, so I find this remarkable.
克家将这些顶级瑞士葡萄酒引入了中国市场，展示了 Neuchâtel 地区独特的风土人情和葡萄酒文化。
各家只做瑞士的顶级葡萄酒，将来的展望也只做瑞士顶级的葡萄酒。所以我们非常小众的一个产品，数量极其有限。
Well, this is very interesting because this is a wine which comes from the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland. So it is actually the wine which is the most in the south in Switzerland.
在本次的活动现场，瑞士 East 欧意瑞为来宾们提供了由唐波里尼酒庄和可马诺庄园生产的 Ticino 优质葡萄酒。
瑞士红酒之所以能在中国有市场的第一个原因，是因为其实它是少而精的，因为瑞士已经是一个品牌了，它不是单一介绍国家品牌的，它是以国家的形象出来介绍自己的品牌的。只要是大家提到了瑞士，就会觉得是专业的，是精密的，是考究的，是有食品安全性的。
Yeah, so this is a wine all the way from the west of Switzerland. Geneva is a city on a mountain lake, but it's also a very international city and has a very long wine tradition because Geneva is actually in the part of Switzerland where the Romans were settling, and therefore the wine tradition is more than 2,000 years old.
而瑞士轩乐酒业集团展示并提供了来自日内瓦的著名瑞士葡萄酒。瑞士轩乐酒业集团是世界上历史最悠久、最知名的葡萄酒制造商和销售商之一，已经有了329年的历史，并于2022年在著名的维也纳 AWC 上荣获最佳零售商奖。
瑞士葡萄酒在中国其实很多人还是不知道的。其实慢慢，我觉得会有很多的中国的老百姓，尤其是中高端消费的这块区域的老百姓，他们会对瑞士葡萄酒感兴趣，因为瑞士葡萄酒整体的品质是非常好的，而且在国际上也屡获大奖，只不过他们很少会对外进行宣传。
从2013年瑞士留学至今，婉黎的瑞士之约也走过了10年的光景。我冒险过，感叹过，也曾笑着说这个地方好山好水好寂寞。而行过10年，我与瑞士的缘分更是冠以葡萄酒之名。瑞士上下，婉黎曾被那一抹自然天地间所酝酿的绯红色彩所震撼，如今行至未来，依旧内心如故。我真切地盼望更多的人了解和欣赏瑞士葡萄酒。那里背靠雪山，面朝湖畔，烟火起，绕人间，喜悦无边，举杯敬此年。干杯，让我们以瑞士葡萄酒之名。这里就是今天的婉黎说瑞士特辑节目。那这里是未必出类拔萃但一定与众不同的婉黎君。我们下期不见不散。
欢迎您来瑞士，拜拜。
拜拜。
滴滴